powerful word right there. Kendra says, I love that definition. Only God can help us to forgive like Jesus. And
Mm.
you said a few things that I think many times our community struggles with. You mentioned repositioning people, right? Ah, man. So many times we're taught it's all or nothing. Either I forgive you or I don't. We were not taught the whole concept of I can forgive you and I can allow both of us to be free to continue to live our lives with authenticity.
Yes.
Like if I forgive you, then we have to totally cut you off. But God, it, I
I
know
don't
some.
think that that's even humanly possible. How are you going to do that with somebody in your family?
Because the whole essence of forgiveness, when we get hurt,
Yeah.
we don't realize that we, even in our hurt, still form a bond with the offender and the offense. I mean, how many times has someone hurt you? The person has gone their way, but you still repeating the story over and over again in your head. Every time somebody mention that person's name, your whole body starts going through contortions and you rolling your eyes like there's still a bond there.
Listen.
And forgiveness, like you said, Claudia, is the process of cutting the link that was created by the harm and that thus setting both parties free.
Oh, listen.
Being able to put that hurt back in God's hands. Say, God, I don't know how to do it on my own, but I'm asking you to bring healing to my heart so that when I see Claudia from this point on, I can still see her as a child of God. When I see her, I don't look at her and see the hurt and the offense. I'm not giving them a pass for what they do, for what they did, but just like I'm forgiven, God, I'm choosing to reinstate that person to where they are able to still interact with me as though we are two children of the Most High God. There may be some pieces we may not necessarily engage like we used to, but
Absolutely.
when I see you, when I hear your name, there's no anger, there's no resentment. And again, that comes through God because sometimes the hurt can be deep.
Listen, you got me on 1,000 right now. And I was looking around, but there's a book. It's in the closet, and I can't come off the logic and get it. But y'all, there's a book that you have to get. It's called The Bait of Satan. The Bait of Satan by a man named John Bevere. Chaplain Benton. This man breaks down how offense is the bait of Satan.
Mercy.
That when we allow ourselves to be offended, we are taking ourselves from you immediately move from the emotional space of I'm hurt to a place of I'm sitting in the pain.
Yes.
I am offended. So because I am offended, I actually have to work to stay mad, stay bonded, like you were talking about, stay bonded to the wrongdoing. I've got to stay bonded to that thing. And what he explains is that the longer we stay bonded to the things that people have done to us, that is where the enemy uses that as a foothold and starts to slip other things into us. So it's like, if you are offended, that's the bait of Satan. He's beginning to do something, and now he's going to start sliding other stuff in there. So I'm like, when I tell you forgiveness is not about the other person.
No.
Like, it really is sincerely about you wholesale, completely. And as you were talking, this other thought came to my mind as well. And a part of me feels like the reason why we like to stay offended and we can't forgive people and we can't move forward, I think is partly due to the fact that I don't think we like to receive our part in the failure of relationship.
Say that again.
We're talking about failure, right? We're talking about a greater force than failure. We don't like to take responsibility for our part in the failure of relationships. We only like to think about what the other person has done to us, but we never want to sit with what we have done to the other person. And always a two-way street. And to acknowledge that a relationship has failed and to forgive the other person, in order to do that, you would have to acknowledge what you did to them. And you would have to acknowledge that I played a part in the failure of this bond. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to hold on to the offense. I'm going to hold on to my anger. I'm going to hold on to my feelings. I'm going to hold this grudge because I am perpetuating the mental narrative that you exclusively are to blame for the termination of this relationship because it was your actions.
Listen, we need to pause right there. I mean, like that is serious right there, because honestly, many of us are in bondage right there, Claudia. I mean, we're in bondage right there.